All right, guys, welcome to a new episode of the Type1lifting Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I have the Touch and Go gang with me, -1. Hannah Hardy couldn't make it. So on the top, I have Victor Rodriguez, and on the bottom, Xander Falix. How you doing, guys?
Aloha, senores.
Hey man, what's going on?
So this is, since it's the year-end festivities.
Is that a reindeer cartoon?
That's a goat eating a sock.
Is there some like cultural significance with children these days that I'm just unaware of?
No.
Cool. It's just funny. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a goat eating sock. All right, that's it.
Nice.
You know, I thought it'd be pretty funny, but I guess
I
not.
like it. I just like I don't really like. I honestly haven't decorated yet. It's not December 1st.
We decorated we decorated before Thanksgiving this year.
I blame your wife.
Yes. Well, you know, it's funny. Like, so we're putting up lights on our house, and so she went all the way to the top of the driveway and looked at it, and so we have lights on the gutters, on the bottom gutters, and she's like, you know, I really think we need to put lights on the top of the roof too. And I'm like, I used to do roofing stuff.
Is your wife Clark Griswold?
No.
Okay.
So, but like I have like roofing boots and like, you know, a ladder. I used to do roofing sales and stuff like that, but it was like the roof is like way too steep for me because I even get nervous on it, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this.
Next time, you should not lead on a publicly sounded podcast with "I own roofing boots," because that is just signing you up for volunteering yourself by your wife to go put those lights up in a few days.
Well, she already knows. So.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so how are you guys doing? So Xander, like, since you're talking, so how was your week and everything else going?
Week's going good. Back to work. It's always funny because we were talking about this before we started, like how many actual work days are left in the year compared to like what calendar days are actually left in the year.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's good. Just getting ready, going to Maine Thursday, a week from Thursday.
So that's for the Misfit camp, right?
Yep, we got camp, training weekend. It'll be a lot of fun, staying a couple extra days, and then going to Pittsburgh, and then flying home, and then working a day and a half before I have to drive to Arkansas for a wedding.
Okay. So I've never had this happen to me before, but obviously, like when you follow the Misfit program, you know, you'll see pictures of like athletes and stuff like that on the blog and stuff like that. So do you ever, like, whenever you see you guys are already on, like, you guys are like the main picture?
Yeah.
Isn't that like, oh shit, that's pretty cool?
Oh yeah. Like, it's one of those weird things where it's like, oh, I'm the picture. And it's like, I guess it's because I've been to so many camps. Like it usually is like photos that have ran through from Chatmas and Ted and Bill. Like they just kind of just flow through just to make sure they're there. But it's always just funny to be like, oh, this is, I made it, right? Like this is, I made it. Like, yeah, this is it. And then you realize like how many people don't do CrossFit, and you're like, I am awesome. And then everybody that you went to high school with on Facebook, and you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's look at him. It's like, I'm proud of me.
Look at me, I'm on the blog. I'm on the blog.
This is my yearbook photo. Most likely to do CrossFit. Yeah, that's me.
Oh man. So Vic, so how is everything going with you?
Man, like you said, we were talking about this end of the year, just trying to close things up with work. Training's going really well. A little tough, but you know, that's phase 3 for you for Misfit. And just kind of looking forward to relaxing a little bit in December and just kind of ramping up for January and like Wadapalooza and all that, and trying to keep the days at home and as relaxed and low key as possible during the holidays for me. Just because I know once it's go, like it doesn't stop. So like hearing Xander saying, man, he's going up to Portland, then he's got to go to Pittsburgh, then he's going to go to Arkansas. I'm just like, man, that travel. I'm just like,
yep.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wait till you have kids and a wife, and it's just like game over. You're like,
and roofing boots.
Yep, roofing boots and stuff like that. So you can't really go much anywhere. But so a couple of things that came out. So for CrossFit, so the new rule book came out. They have, you know, obviously from like a bunch of hiccups from this year went into this rule book for the next year, for like, you know, the Annika Greer rule about the, like, you know, video, like taking the video and submitting it, the Copa Sur rule, the Roman Krennikov rule, the CrossFit Nordic rule, the Olivia Kerstetter rule, and obviously rope cutting rule, which is like probably one of the most important ones.
The Panchik rule.
Yeah, the Panchik rule.
Yep.
Because like, you know, why you want to jack your knees up off of like a rope
Well,
and
don't
stuff.
program a workout for men that is really just like how willing are you to let gravity take the wheel. Like Carrie Underwood can sing as much as she want, but Isaac Newton still like plays out.
Yeah. So, have you guys like read like looked at like skin the rule book at all, or do you have any thoughts?
I guess like rules. Talking about rules. No, who reads a rule book?
This is practice.
Practice. No, it's playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like. Have I read the rule book? I've never read any year's rule book. I've just kind of checked the highlights, guys. Like that's like for the most part, it's like the Annika Greer rule where it's like, oh well, I had trouble. It's like having talk like everybody knows, and it sucks for her. It's like cool they changed it, but it's like that. Like I guess we're really just trying to really go by letter of the law now, is what CrossFit's trying to do instead of trying to give out favors. So hopefully it never happens to any athlete ever again. So that's the first thing. But it's like, I think this whole like regionals ish, like, well, Mississippi is the East, even though it's the West, and there's so many rules out there. It's good. I'm glad they're starting to put things out there. It's just like super teams are back and affiliates are dead again. Great job, CrossFit. We're doing a phenomenal.
Almost. Affiliates are almost dead. Because you still need to do it at an affiliate, and it's going to be a lot harder for people to do the open and register for the open if they're not doing their workouts at an affiliate, where they still need to film it and actually submit the film, which a lot of people probably won't want to do. But I don't know. For me, I think the other takeaway that you were saying, like just splitting it up in the regionals-esque way, that like East and West line, for me, just kind of makes me think like who's gonna move or try to go somewhere to make it easier to balance it out so they can make it.
Well, it's more about, yeah, it's just like, where do you do the open? Do you just move somewhere for 3 weeks and like just stay with a buddy and just do it in the West and then go back to training like in the East?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing. I think the bigger thing is just like everything's only dependent upon where you did the open.
Yeah. That also makes me wonder. So with super teams being like essentially back, but does it make it easier for super teams, or is it going to be harder this year? So, I mean, we already know that we've had super teams last year. They just moved and they formed a team and they claimed residence and all that. So now I'm just wondering,
are we only going to say, like, just for reference, like it's literally the Reykjavik, like Iceland team and then Mayhem were the only two real super teams last year? Or are we going to try to do open box athletics with Kelsey and like it was Kelsey and Ashley and then they had guys?
I mean, open box, I mean, Chris Harris's team, those
MFLH
people like
always has like a big one, but I wouldn't say, like, I don't like consider them super teams.
No.
When I'm thinking super teams, I'm thinking like top 20 individual athletes all team up, right?
Like
that's
like Con Porter and like that group,
yeah, it's
like Lauren
those two.
Fisher.
Like
Yeah.
we're going back to like, and it's just going to be weird, especially because are they doing the seeding too, based on regions for picking the teams?
that's a good question.
Now it's like the whole seeding thing is probably a bigger question mark.
And then they're also waiting. They're waiting
the way they're gonna do the formula is based on like how you went to the games and like past performances, which I'm like,
that shouldn't happen.
It just if we're you so like
the FCS basically.
Yeah, no, we're going to the BCS. We're using
BCS,
the
yeah,
BCS
sorry, yeah,
style
BCS.
qualifier. FCS would actually make more sense.
Yeah.
So we're taking the BCS formula based on last season performance. Wouldn't it just be easier to do rankings based on how you did in all the workouts? So you're not just competing against people in your region, but against people across the world, semis.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
I'm not an Excel expert by any means, but I know how to use a formula. Just don't do Z score.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. So do you think that there's going to be less people that sign up for the Open this year compared to last year?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's the
yeah.
hard part is like, how are we driving signups?
Like the thing is, they pulled out this levels bit last year,
Which I thought
and
was pretty cool too.
that's
The levels
nice.
was cool. Levels was cool. The problem is like local comps are dying.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and
And it's
also
way too much effort on the local comps to go in there and check who's signing up.
it's also the fact that CrossFit isn't making money on their competitions either. So it's like if they can't make money on semifinals, then how do you expect local comps to actually make money as well if they're being smaller, not the big ticket items? I don't know. The levels is very cool to me. However, it's it's difficult to see anyone wanting to be encouraged to keep signing up for the Open if they don't really have any aspirations to compete.
Hmm.
And as awful as that sounds, like, hey man, it's the spirit of doing the Open, and you should do it because you get to go, it's you versus you, and see how you can do better than you were last year, and go back to the drawing board, and you know, make yourself the best version possible. And everyone says that at all the local boxes, but let's be honest, there's a lot of people in this world that don't really give a damn about that.
And it like starts at the local level for like everybody just to make sure that it's important. Like that's the hardest part is like how are we like there's a lot of things from CrossFit. I'm like the rule book is out the earliest it's ever been. We have now like and it's usually like which is great. There's just a lot of questions on like how are we getting people to sign up because the Open is probably like, hey, we want your $20. I'm glad I'm already seeing the marketing for it. Like, and I'm gonna sign up. I'm always a person where it's like, oh, I just don't want to waste $20. Well, kick rocks, my guy. You're just gonna go buy 3 Trenta cold brews at Starbucks, and there's $20. Like, get out of my face.
Or
But it's
energy
also
drinks.
well,
My
you can get if you want 18 Monster Blancos for $20. I'll tell you about where to
Listen,
get them.
my thing is I can't stand, like, you go to the CrossFit Games app and they've already put the marketing in there, but they've coded it so poorly that that 80 days till the Open does not disappear, so you can't actually use the app properly. Uh, so not to bash, but I'm just like, hey man, if you're gonna roll out a release on an app, at least make sure that it's actually functioning properly on all devices.
Yeah, but that's on them because that's how those apps like always like
They've never
it's
been technically
minimum viable
sound.
product. But what
Mm.
other rules like are more important? Because I feel it like sign up for the Open, people, please. Like the Open matters. Like just have fun with it and try to like even if you're not competitive, if you're just trying to have fun, it's still important to do because you're actually going to be supporting your affiliates and hopefully some way that CrossFit's going to end up starting to really like keep re-energizing things.
So speaking about signing up, I was contemplating on not signing up this year.
Don't be him.
Well, here's
Don't
my
be Himothy.
here,
Don't be Himothy.
hear me out. Hear me out. So I do not train at affiliate, but they do have like everything I need to do CrossFit there. I could videotape it and submit it over, but it's like, is it worth the effort to videotape all the stuff, making sure I get everything right, measure it right, and like the weights right and all that stuff, and then submit it to CrossFit? Is it really worth for me to be like in like the whatever, like like tens of thousands of place?
So
Yeah,
here's
you'd be
my yeah,
fitter
here's
than Ben
my
Smith and his broken knees.
yeah, like here's my thing. Like, if you're making the honest effort to record it and make sure things are proper, do the workout. Record the workout, submit it. You're not thinking you're going to the games. You're not thinking
Yeah,
you're
just
going to truly affect. Just do it in the spirit of what the Open truly is,
Mhm.
which is you're testing your fitness and you're not trying to game anything. If you get something wrong, so be it. Whatever. Like, it happens. Like, that's the thing. Like, when, like, my biggest thing is there are regular athletes who are going to do the Open, and if they make a mistake, like, who cares? At least they signed up, put their name in the hat, and made the best effort to just get it right, and then they push themselves. That's what the open is actually about. It's just, hey, let's push yourself and see what limits you can reach. Do it for everyone else. And, yeah, hey man, that workout sucked. I did it too.
Hey, don't worry. I just canceled my membership to my local affiliate, and I'm just gonna do everything in my garage.
Is that the same one that you've been talking about where that gym owner doesn't or
That's
is it a
just
different?
it's the same one.
Yep,
We'll just
yep. Okay.
yep,
Yep.
yep, yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I kind of skimmed over the rule book a little bit because I just wanted to see what was in it. So the weird one was the Roman Krenikov
Yeah,
rule. So,
which makes sense, but it's also just vague.
yeah,
But I feel like it has to be purposefully vague. The Krenikov rule is clearly like you have to apply to be able to compete at a different semi.
mhm.
And then they'll like to exigent circumstances, great word. And so it's just throwing that out there, but it's just like, dude, like if you decide to train in the US, you're in the US. If you decide to go train in Europe, you're in Europe. Why
hmm
why does citizenship matter? You don't get an automatic buy just like this isn't 2019 and 2020. You don't get an auto buy for just deciding where you're going to live and competing like in Latvia or middle of nowhere like Mumbai or some other like Indonesia where it's like somebody from America could just breeze on through.
Now, I don't know if I heard this right, but I know I know Roman's been training in the States, but I
Yeah.
think did he move up to Canada for a little bit now?
I think he's in Wisconsin still, or like in there, like
Southern
Ohio.
Canada.
Oh, he is up in Canada?
No, I'm joking. It's like
Oh,
Wisconsin, Southern
Southern
Canada.
Canada. Oh my
It's
God.
like
Close
going to
enough.
Maine is like
West
Eastern
Canada.
Canada. It's like it's yeah, but it's like it's just hard because it's like he can't go home. Like because
No.
the thing is, if he goes home, he can't come back. Like it's kind of like Fittest Wizard. He's from
Yeah,
Kazakhstan.
Samsonov. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a very similar idea where it's like he leaves, he can't come back, and that's very tough. And it's just unfortunate because there's again a lot of things that the three of us couldn't understand visa laws all that well.
Yeah, and it's difficult to understand. Like you need even like you get this visa, you're here for this long, and then all of a sudden like you have to leave, and then like yeah, it's just the whole can of worms.
I mean, I've only seen that instance occur a few times in other sports like the NBA, where like Turkish players um, weren't able to like even if they played overseas, like they had to be careful which airports they went to because they would try to extradite like certain players who spoke out against, you know, the Turkish government or dictatorship or whatnot. And I feel like this is just another one of those things where you don't want to put yourself in a position to lose everything that you've worked for, like Dennis has, or like is it Hamza Tarifi that's in who's in Training Think Tank?
Don't know.
I don't
That
know.
was another one. There was a few of them who needed a spot to stay in the States because they couldn't risk losing that status. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how people are going to be able to manage it this year. And one other thing is, can we add another placement into the Oceania group instead of
Yeah,
three?
like, but that's the like. Now we're just going back to the can of worms of like the formula
Yeah, yeah.
because like, and they like if we go to the Morning Chalk Up article, they reference like Atlas Games, and there was a bunch of chicanery going on because there should have been other athletes that went to Granite Games because of COVID statuses and potentially and such.
hmm
But it's just
hmm
like, yeah, like the argument, like they're because of the weightings, they're gonna go back, but it's like Australia got screwed last year, and I don't really see how this potential formula is going to help anybody because if the formula, like if Tia competes and wins outright, which nobody knows what's going on right now because she keeps withdrawing, underlying story of the CrossFit 2023 way too early season, that she needs to like if she decided to compete and win, it doesn't help anybody because she took one of the qualifying spots, and then if it's based on previous placements and Kara competes and it's just Ellie Turner, it's like there's not like again, this whole formula doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't have any reference points. If they gave us like a reference for like, hey, here's what the last year's field looked like. If we decided to apply these rules, this is what it would have looked like. That would be really helpful to people. The
Mhm.
problem is, I don't think CrossFit wants to do it because I think they would just get into like an arms race of just like bad comments.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Definitely see that. Um, so with that whole rulebook thing going on thing, I so the Zellos game, I kind of want to talk about that. So very, very interesting. They had a rule that it was almost like a red flag rule in the NFL. So if you had a question or like, someone did like a no rep to you, you can throw the challenge flag to like, about saying like, hey, I think this was like a rep and this was like instead of a no rep. And they can go back in the videos and like watch the whole process of, did this person like hit depth or did this person like lift the weight properly. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to maybe, kind of slide it over to the CrossFit games to kind of be like, instead of like having like a crazy judge, or I'm not knocking judges, don't get that twisted, but like if something like didn't see a certain thing, you could throw the flag and still do the workout, and then you can like, either gain points or gain time or lose time.
Yeah, and I guess it's a weird thing because it's like it's just more of the how do you throw the flag? Is it only at the end of the workout? You shouldn't have to be throwing it in the middle of a workout.
Hmm.
Zelos Games is another cool idea just to try to get more competitions, and they're actually paying athletes, unlike other actual that are trying to just get sponsorships for next year to pay last year's prize purse,
Yep.
which is not good. Europe
Nope.
championship, well, yeah.
That in Canada. So
Oh,
Canada, yeah.
Canada just didn't even get a sponsorship. I feel like they just packed up and left. Um, Unfortunately, but it's just hard to be like, was it like because I had somebody like I was doing high rocks and like somebody like responded to a video. It's like, oh, that guy's not hitting depth, and he was my best friend sitting next to me. It's like if you met Travis and watched him squat, if you watch him from the front, it doesn't look good because his legs are too big.
mhm.
But you literally go to the side and you're like, oh no, that's as far down as it goes,
Yeah.
and
And
like that's the hardest part.
I believe in the Zells games, it was like after you do the workout, you could throw the challenge flag, not like during it. So it was
Yeah,
just completely after.
cool idea. We need more real life practice.
Yeah, true. Well, here's the thing though. Like, let's just say if like one workout, like 10 or 12 people throw their challenge flag, and like that's gonna take forever for them to watch all the videos back, and it's gonna like hold everybody back, hold the competition out longer because obviously with the Zellos game, you only have like 10 people all together.
Yeah, like because again, it's still a growing comp, so they had 10 people live and then they did the rest of the workouts online, which I think is a really cool idea.
Hmm.
Just to kind of get coverage and things. It's just really like it's just hard because it's like and then it's like, "Oh cool, so I got my one rep back and like how much is a rep? Is it a second?" Like because if it's a four-time workout, like it's just there's just so many things where you're just like asking for like controversy and it's just going to just
Yeah.
show up.
Just keep on practicing at the Zellos games, and then all of a sudden, like we'll just see what happens, and with a bigger audience and a bigger field. So, all right, cool. So the next one I kind of want to talk about, which is my all-time favorite competition to watch, but I've never been there, Wadapalooza.
Mm. Yes.
So, what do you guys expect for this year's Wadapalooza?
I think it's cool that what tier is giving out, it seems like they're giving out significantly more to athletes showing up and competing across all levels relative to what Noble did the past couple years. Because it's shoes, full gear kit, essentially. So shirt, I don't think they're giving out shorts, but probably just like a pair of sunglasses.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like it seems really nice. Like at least because like for teams, it's like $1,100 with taxes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's also like you're talking about the stays. So you're also traveling down there. You're flying, and for what happened last year, like I talked to some of the organizers at Wadapalooza, and they're trying to scale some of it back to bring it back to like how it used to be run in terms of the flow of Wadapalooza, but they're also trying to do that to give that experience of making it more like all eyes on the athletes. Um, And I really like the way that they're doing team and individual separately on different days. Like the first part is team, and
Yeah,
then they do
Thursday,
individual.
Fridays, indies, Saturday, Sundays, like for like the elite like teams of
Yeah.
three, which I think is a good like they're doing like it seems like they're trying to figure this out because that's been probably the underwhelming gripe. Like I'm not going to Wadapalooza this year, but it's just like that was the issue from what I saw. Is just like it's they were trying to just force too much, and it's like okay, well if we do a little bit less, can we end up making this a better experience for everybody? And I think like that's what they're going to end up having to get back to.
Yeah, because there was wait. I mean, I've never been there, so, but like, I know they have like a lot of stuff going on for like a lot of people competing. I mean, you have the gauntlet, you have the elite men, elite
Yeah, like
women,
the
elite
gauntlet
teams.
is for
Yeah,
fun, right?
yeah.
Because anybody, as long as you sign up for it, then you had elite men, elite women, elite teams all going at the same time.
Hmm.
Then it was like how many other divisions were going? Like plus, I think they had an adaptive division going. Like it's
Adaptive.
great for like getting as many people going because you want everybody to have the same experience. But it's like, are you hurting everyone's experiences by having trying to do too much? And it's like you have to find the middle ground because it's like again, these events are for profit businesses. Sorry,
Hmm.
like I wish people would like not forget these at home, like TFX, Wadapalooza, CrossFit with Canada West Games, like all these things, like Lowlands, Dubai, like they need to be for profit businesses. Like they can't just take losses because these are people's jobs. And CrossFit still, in most senses, like is a small business outside of the games. So, and I think they're trying to. You got to find the whatever that right level is where it's like we made this much money. This is probably where we're only going to be able to make this much money, but we're still trying to make it the top tier experience that they need.
Hmm. And plus, they want. I believe they want like more asses and the seats, so they could watch everybody instead of it being like, oh, here's the adaptive
They
male
don't
group.
have enough seats
Yeah, true,
because of
but
the space, and it's
yeah,
like it's more of a logistics nightmare for that. It's not really they're doing the best they can with this the placement of the like of Bayfront Park.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, what they want to do is have more people in the stands consistently across the entire day, as opposed to, oh, it's time for the team for the elite and the indies. So everyone crashes up and they get up too close and they're all on top of each other, which honestly, that type of experience, like that atmosphere, is electric, to be honest. But they're trying to figure out how do we keep the average number of people, excuse me, in the stands across the entire competition? Because that's going to be the best experience. How do we keep people entertained for all of those?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm hoping the live stream is going to be done very well. I mean, it was last year, so I mean, obviously with like Tier as a new sponsor, they may like up the game a little bit more because a lot of obviously Tier just came into the market for the CrossFit shoes and everything else, so
Shout
they
out
want
Rachel Martinez. Send me a pair of shoes.
so they want to be like, they want to be the group after Noble and Nike. So I think they're going to be stepping up their game big time this year, and I love to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would say they're going more after Noble. I don't think any like Noble or Nike really have a chance of Noble or Tier is going to take out the king.
No, no, but at least they could try.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Have you tried their shoes yet, by any
Which
chance?
one?
The Tier ones.
I have not, but I've only heard very, very, very good things about them.
Yeah, I've heard
I've
positive.
heard
I just don't have
very
them.
similar, like Nano 9, like types of good things.
Okay.
And
I
legacy lifter style, like wide toe box,
Oh,
very
nice.
comfortable. Just again, they're CrossFit shoes. They are not a
Hmm.
running shoe. Please
Hmm.
don't forget that.
Yes. So the pair of Nobles I have, not a big fan anymore. Not a big
Which
fan.
one? What'd you
The
get?
flower ones or the
No,
orange
no,
ones?
I got so the ones I got are the tie like they're like it's almost looks like, it's a black shoe, but they spilled bleach on it, so it's got like this like weird like tie-dye effect on it.
But was it
Sounds
like
like
the
how they
Trainer
make it.
Plus?
No, they're
Yeah,
just they're just the trainers.
Trainer. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like so flat that it's like hurting my feet.
Yeah.
There's like no cushion, nothing. So like I don't even wear them to work it out because it's like it's not worth it. So
Yep.
I literally have like a pair of Metcons, the maroon, like red and orange ones I have. Like literally the front of the toe box is like
Hey,
the
they're
orange.
Innovates. I
Yeah.
swear, I think you're gonna end up liking Innovates. Or I really like my Metcon 8s. Just don't buy the Metcon NASCAR style shoe.
True.
It's on sale right now, but I'm not
Yeah.
pushing that on anyone.
Yeah, I'm looking to go to the Nike outlet store. I'm because I know for a fact they have Metcons where I live.
Yeah,
So
well, they
You
have
know what's
sevens. They have sevens, and those are tighter from what I've heard. Like, because I had a pair of sevens, I didn't really like them. I like the eights a lot.
I laughed at the Nike Metcon tribe, whatever it was, the Instagram. They were talking about the new Metcons and they were like, "Oh, they're on sale. So if you want to debadge them, here's your chance." And I was like, that is wild that that they would just actually publicly say that, like, "Oh, here's your debadging kit."
It's just really funny because it's like, what was it? The black and gold sevens did so well, and then it was like they
Oh,
came
very
out with the
nice.
the NASCARs, and they're just like, we're just gonna close that box and
yeah, like yeah, I don't like the patches on it. I mean, it was cool. It was cool with the Metcons that had like the whiteboard thing on the back of it, like we talked before, and like the one with the Velcro. I mean,
yep.
I thought that was pretty cool, but it's
Even the
like,
what the sevens were cool, and then it was just like these are just like it's always really funny because when you're just looking at sneakers of all kinds, it's like
mhm.
you're like, no, this is the line, and then you just see the one that's just like that much farther over, and you're like, yeah, no, that's cut it, cut it, it's on sale. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I have no desire to buy those shoes like at all. I mean, the black and gold ones I definitely would have gotten if I had the chance.
yeah, they re-released those a few times. That's how popular they were.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they were cool. I liked them, but now these ones with the patches, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
They hit the mark with the black and golds
Hmm.
because they weren't just they I knew there was a story behind it
Yeah.
and that was great, but they also looked very good like standalone. Like if you were to release those without the backstory, people were like, "Yo, those are actually kind of hot. I'm gonna get those."
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. So, the next topic I want to talk about. So obviously this is like the end of the year. So, what are your guys' top CrossFit moments for 2022?
Um. Okay, so are we doing like just CrossFit as a sport in the games, or are we doing these as personal?
Ooh, both. We'll do both. How about that? I like the both. I like the
Son
both.
of a beesh. Son of a beesh. Okay. So mine probably was being able to do like so besides competing in High Rocks, so that doesn't count as CrossFit, right? Like that's obstacle course racing and whatever
Hmm.
Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons I compete in. So I would say just being able to do Wadapalooza in the games this year was cool, just to be able to go attend both. But highlight for me, Chandler Smith, like really, like absolutely just fucking calling a shot when he was at that Rogue. Yeah, that's mine. Yep. I'm a bandwagon guy. It's hard. I can't not do it. I was just super pumped for my guy, so I was really happy for him. And so I had other ones that I wanted to do, but I was not going to be the guy who takes all three of the cool things this year. So I'll leave that was to you guys.
Okay,
go
Vic,
ahead,
what do you?
Tom. You go. Oh, I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
go
you can
ahead. Go
go
ahead,
No,
man.
no,
Go
no, no,
ahead,
no, no,
man. Go
no,
ahead.
no, no. If they
because
don't get brought up, if
last
they
time we
don't,
stole all of Tom's thunder. I don't
No,
want
no,
to do
you're good.
that.
no. You guys go because I feel like you guys are going to have to pull at least one of these, and if you don't, then I get to say them after.
That's fine. Deal.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. CrossFit moments for me. I mean, yes, going to Wadapalooza and the games was awesome. But I mean, it's specific CrossFit moments. Um, for me was, I'm sorry, that the sandbag event at the CrossFit Games,
There
being
we go.
there in
There we go.
person in the arena, thinking, holy shit, like this is got to be the most exciting event that they created. And they actually, it got better after they did the women's because they found a way to make it faster and to make it more intense. So seeing that entire event. So not just one specific athlete, just the entire event, the flow of it, watching people struggle, hit the lift, miss the lift, but watching everyone put it all out there,
Hmm.
freaking awesome. Other CrossFit moment for me, um, I mean, he took Chandler. I mean, watching Chandler hit second place, I mean, that's great. Like you can't top that, especially after the year that he's had and just all the like the obstacle course, like the road bumps he's had just to get there finally and just be like, hey, look, like y'all need to remember, like he is that dude. And people just seem to forget or they seem to write him off. Personal CrossFit moment for me is going to be again the trail run in Kauai, being able to do that. I mean, especially with the Go Ruck, uh, that was that was
I have made a mistake.
insanely challenging. But I had a wonderful group of people around me. Also, Jared Wayne Stevens, but he's got some legs on him because his stride is so long. Trying to keep up with him, don't. He had to stop and wait for us to catch up to him because he is so efficient when it comes to rucking, and he's just there. I mean, everyone I was with was insanely fit. Um, but I was just like, Jared's like, oh, how long you been here? He's like, oh, maybe like 5, 10 minutes, like waiting at a water station for everyone else to catch up. And he's like, all right, you guys ready to go? And then he starts pumping his legs. It's not like he's even trying to run. He's just like, do, 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 do. And then 10 seconds later, he's 50 feet in front of me. And I'm like, how am I supposed to?
Isn't he like 5'9"? And aren't you like 5'7"?
I'm five. Yo, thank you. But yes, I am
Like
5'7".
like let's just be kinder. Like your statures are very different and your levers are very different. There's a reason why you
Yes.
squat 500 and he, on a great day, is looking at
Um,
385.
but no, yeah, I mean, he has longer limbs, but it was crazy to think like how that little bit of a difference makes on that. But it was, I mean, he's a great dude, a great sport. But I was just like, it was kind of just, it was pretty. I was just in awe. Like, damn, this guy just moves and it's so effortless. So yeah, definitely one of that experience of working out with them and then also doing the trail run with them was definitely memorable for the year.
Okay. All right. So here are mine. So obviously the sandbag was good. I like that. That was a highlight. Um, the clean and jerk with the log at Rogue, I thought was like super cool because it's like a different implement you could do. The other one is, um, I thought it was cool, but I don't know if she liked it, was with the Capitol when Rebecca,
Oh,
was going
Okay.
up,
low
and
light
then
for her.
I know, but still, it was cool, like having the whole community behind her and like cheering her on and stuff like that. I thought that was a pretty cool picture. So
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that,
she's got T-shirts for it now, so you can buy it to commemorate that moment if you want that.
if you're
I
into
just,
that,
yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah,
if you're a fan of her, yeah, go for it.
yeah.
neat.
They got it's like a flaming Husafell bag on the thing. One, yeah.
Okay.
Poor girl. I still, yeah.
Well, on a personal note, um, one of the things I'm really happy for, um, is the Touch and Go gang.
There you
Oh,
go. There you go.
Seriously,
guy.
I know, but like no, but like I literally just like threw it out there for all you guys, being like, hey, would you want to do a podcast about news or just like shit that's going on in the CrossFit space? And you guys were like, hell yeah, I'm all in. And so like obviously doing the first episode was just like we're like all over the place, and now we're kind of like in sync with each other, which I think is cool. Like literally, we started this
Oh yeah,
like
June.
6 months ago.
June?
Yeah, June.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, June.
And like we've been doing one like every month, and like it's almost like every single one we do, it's like we get better and better and better, which I think is like super cool.
Yeah, the summer solstice was the time we started.
Yeah. And it was like I wasn't even expecting anything. Like I just wanted to see like
We're like, we all talk on Instagram, and then it's like, oh, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then like just
Yeah.
touch and go, let's go, and then like all of a sudden we're like, hey, we're doing a podcast together. So, and also like there's some amazing people I have like coming on the show, as well as like other people that I've interviewed
Yep.
this year, which like I'm so grateful to have this podcast because like I get to meet all these people that I would never get the chance to.
Yeah.
I would never like if I never had this, like I probably want to be talking to you guys, maybe on Instagram. That's pretty much the gist of
Yeah.
it.
It's like we'd be lifting together, and that's probably
I
honestly
mean,
probably
that's
about
kind of
it.
what CrossFit's all about. I mean, it brings together people that you like. I haven't. I don't know if I can actually say this in a eloquent way, but just the amount of good people that I've encountered and that I've come into contact with and become friends with just because of CrossFit. I mean, that in itself is invaluable. And I don't know of any other interest or hobby or passion that I've had in my life that's opened those types of doors to that quality of person um, in the volume that I see on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Definitely, yeah. It's unreal. It's crazy to like think like how personable like almost everybody is. Granted, you get some people that aren't really personable, like no, I don't want to talk or blah blah blah. But like everyone's like pretty much open
Yeah.
to asking questions, which I think is a cool thing because you don't get that in other sports.
Yeah. Like it's very hard, I feel like, to just connect with. Like it's also like none of us, like most people can't do the same workouts as an NFL player.
Hmm.
You can ideally in a perfect environment do a similar workout as a games athlete. Probably not the weights, like just open workouts, but that's probably one of the nicest part about like creating the fitness community together.
Yeah, definitely. So the next thing is so I think it's obviously Thanksgiving's over. So kind of what are you guys grateful for
Oh,
this
we're doing
year?
this?
Yeah, why not? This is
Oh,
like the
you're
end of
doing it.
the this
You're
is the end
doing
of the
it.
year
You're doing
podcast,
it.
baby. Let's
You're
go.
doing okay. So you already took Touch and Go Gang. I took Chandler Smith. Um, Victor can go first if he
All
wants.
right, Vic, go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
man, what am I
Oh,
grateful for?
It could be
I mean,
it could be non CrossFit related too.
this entire year, I think I'm just grateful for the experiences I've had this year. It's been a hectic year. There's been a lot of stress for sure. But I'm still grateful for the interactions and just for the ability to actually still, you know, get into the gym and get my sessions done and not let things go to the wayside. Because I know in the past myself, I've allowed myself to let external variables kind of just take over my life. And in terms of the way like it'll express itself and oh, I'm just gonna go out and drink and go out to eat all the time instead. And lo and behold, a year or two later, I'd balloon to like way overweight. So knowing that I now have the tools necessary to be able to be aware enough to say, hey, I need to keep this routine, keep this consistency going, and being able to do that amidst everything else, I think I'm truly grateful for. So,
All right.
so yeah. So piggybacking off that, it's more of just kind of the friends and the relationships I've made through fitness, because they're really like you guys, Hannah, everybody through Misfit, like anybody else, like Dex and numerous people I'm probably just not going to mention because the list is too long. Just everyone and the family I've made is always through fitness is probably one of the coolest things out there, with everyone. And so that is would always be like my go-to. And so that's really what I'm grateful for the year. And then just being able to just kind of come up here every ish month is pretty much our cadence at this point. Summer solstice, winter solstice, and back. That's how calendars work, I believe, in the Gregorian sense. And so, like, really, it's just kind of being able to do that. And so that's really what I'm grateful for. And then what's everybody asking for Christmas?
oh wait, before you do that, I
Whoa,
had
whoa.
one more
What about
thing.
No, no,
No, I had one more thing. I want
fine.
to say that I'm grateful for the people in the shoe community that showed me the way. and also the pain of the sneakers app. But I'm actually grateful that I actually took the chance and yeah, got a few new pairs of shoes. Nothing special, but decent. I can't hold a candle to a lot of y'all. I'm not
No.
gonna lie.
It's an
And I'm
awful
not gonna
habit. It's an
and
awful
I'm not gonna
habit.
try.
All right, so for me, for quick, what I'm grateful for, I'm grateful I got a chance to move into a new house, um, which is unreal. Like I still pinch myself every day. I wake up and look out the window and see water, which is insane to think about that. And I'm thankful for a healthy family, my wife, healthy kids. They're growing and all that stuff. It's crazy. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Great answer.
Yeah. So, all right, what do you want for Christmas?
Well, I don't need workout gear because Sharpen the Axe already sent me everything. I asked for a jacket like John Dutton's from Yellowstone. That's what I asked for my parents and Santa Claus.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And the elf on the shelf because I don't know who we asked for gifts for at the spry age of 30.
Electronics, right?
Nah, I already bought those. So, what do you guys want?
Vic.
I honestly, I'm not a huge Christmas person. So little Q in here, for me, the way that we kind of grew up, we didn't grow up always having the best Christmases, financially. So usually when it comes around to the holidays for me, I just really like being around people, being around family and friends and just being able to spend time with them because for me, like gifts and stuff like that, like man, it's more about being able to spend time with people as opposed to, oh, how fancy. Like, I'm not gonna like Steve Carell it or like, get everyone do a Yankee swap and buy an iPod.
Get an iPod video. Do it. Do it and see what
Um,
happens.
no, man, I just, for me, it's not more, it's less about the gifts and more about the experience with people. So that's always been my thing.
All right, all right. The main thing that I want, actually, there's two things. Well, actually, I go to Wadapalooza as one, but obviously, like, I don't think it's gonna happen. But anyway, so since my son broke my computer monitor, I would like a new one. Um,
Tell him he has to podcast for it.
Damn, you put them on
yes,
blast like that. You just go
yeah.
tell, hey, my son broke it.
Well, wait, no. Here's the thing. So originally, like this desk and all my podcast stuff was up on the second floor in the toy area where my kids would play, and so yeah,
I s-
not really
Is there a
good.
little bit of user error in here?
Well, I had no other place to go because I didn't think of going to the basement. So like literally, like, this is a concrete
Yeah, but it
wall.
looks cool with the blue lights.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think two and two together. So, but anyway, so
It's very
he had
Blumhouse.
yeah, so he was using my
It sets
chair
the
and
mood.
yeah, I know. I tried to. It's a diabetes color, so um,
The color blue? You
yes,
just like you completely just took it from the sky, from
yeah.
oceans. It's exclusive. Okay.
No.
All right.
Like if you look at if you look at the circle for the type
Yeah.
one lifting, so that blue circle, that's the color and the symbol for diabetes. But anyway,
Yes.
so my son was spinning around in a circle on this
But one group
chair.
appropriates an entire color?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. We need our own flag too, by the way. Anyway, so he was spinning around and actually hit the desk and knocked the computer screen monitor over and like cracked it and didn't tell anybody till I turned it on to go to work. And I'm like, what happened? And I'm like, and he's already in school, so I had to wait till he gets out of school. I'm like, Bennett, what did you do with this? And he's like, oh, it fell and I picked it back up, but it's okay.
Wait, it was a work computer screen?
Yes. Yeah. No,
Oh,
no, 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 no,
bro.
no, no.
Oh, I was
I
gonna.
paid for. I paid for it.
Oh,
I
damn! I was
paid
gonna
for it.
say you
So
don't have a work from home
No,
expense that you could just like.
you're supposed to use use the Christmas bonus and don't pay it to the employees. Just keep it for yourself and buy
yeah.
yourself a new monitor.
True. Yeah. And I would like a new office chair for down here.
What are you in right now?
Mm,
So my neighbor was moving, so he threw all of his stuff in like like a little like garbage can.
Take this for free.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, hey, can I take this? And he's like, yeah, go for it. So this is a free computer chair. So
I feel like that's hard for you. The big and tall computer chairs are, uh, mm, being that you're like 6'8", Um,
Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, I just need something with like more better back support and something that's like not like literally like already has like ass indents on this thing. So, but whatever, in due time,
Yeah.
But anyway, so last question for the group. I know we didn't talk about Dubai, but I mean,
we
no
didn't even
one's
talk about Zealous really. I mean, we talked about Zealous a little bit, but
yeah,
Well,
but
let's go. Let's go, Luca. That's all that matters. That's the only
yeah,
person we're
seriously,
rooting for.
yeah.
yeah. So what are your guys' plans for next year? Could be CrossFit wise or personal wise.
I am training for fun. I am not training to compete.
I am the opposite. I am training to compete. And we'll see how far I go, you know. That's kind of the goal. I mean, I have some holes I have to fill in, and that's essentially what makes training a little bit tougher during the off season for me. Um, just trying to shore up those things and not focus on my strengths, which is literally my strength. Um, but yeah, that's kind of that's been the goal that we've been working toward. Um, you know, I just have to put, you know, one day at a time and just kind of keep little building blocks and see how far, see how high I can stack those wins. And then when the season comes, we'll see what happens.
All right. Anything personal wise for you guys? No.
No.
Make
No.
more money.
What's a person?
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, Xander, you travel way too much anyway. So if
Yeah,
you say
exactly.
if you say traveling, it's gonna be like, okay, more.
Yeah, like
you
I'm
don't.
like it's like that's my problem. My baseline is like everybody else's dream.
bro, you know what you really should do is just, oh, actually, no, you have to have an actual residence. I was gonna say, just get an RV, dog.
Those are such a money pit. I would never do it.
No, just get like a van and just like soup it up to like a bed and all that stuff.
Yeah, you could be a fit Chris Farley. Just live in a van down by the river.
I gotta find the river. I gotta find the right river.
But so my plans for next year. So obviously I want the podcast to grow. Fitness wise, I just want to look good on the beach.
Yep.
That's it.
Fair.
Yep.
That's it.
Fair.
Maybe do a weightlifting competition or do a CrossFit competition other than the open, but see what happens. And also, I would like to finally get. So I started a YouTube channel, so I've been just posting shorts on it, like almost like TikTok. But I would like to get like a full length video on it for like training purposes and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. So I kind of want that to grow a little bit, and hopefully, I can get a sponsorship and do this full time.
We would love that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to the Touch and Go Gang show on Type 1 Lifting. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.